good one here. Exciting news. Dead by Daylight horror movie coming from Blumhouse, Atomic Monster and Behaviour Interactive. I'm going to be real quick and simple with this because there's a way I think this can be done right, respectful, pay attention to the source material that includes utilizing character perks as part of their characteristics, as part of their story element. Each character comes with their own specific perks and how they play in the field together. That needs to be put to screen. There's so much in here that needs to be put to screen. If you're going to adapt Dead by Daylight, you don't want to just make a cliche horror film, then run-of-the-mill horror film. You want it to stay true to the source material. I think this is exciting news. They want to make a movie out of it. That Dead by Daylight makes for a much better series, HBO style series with a big budget, good budget to back it, because the rosters become so expansive. There's just no way to include everybody's favorite survivors, killers, locations to fit in all that lore. And then there's the licensed characters themselves. I don't think they can touch on most of those, but you include Easter eggs, nods, maybe like the Mask of Michael Myers or the Boiler Room of Freddy Krueger. There are ways that you can respect all that and bring it to screen properly. The way I would do it, I would bring in the original characters, even though some people are going to be butthurt that they're killers and they're survivors on screen. I would use the first movie as a gateway to a TV series, or at least a saga of films, like 6 films, depending on how well the performance is. But I really think they should dip their toes into doing this from a TV series side. Roster's so expansive. Here's how I would do it. Dwight, Jake, Meg, Claudette, the originals included in the game, wake up together at a campfire with Bruce Campbell's Ash. Everyone is suspicious of each other and how they got here. Ash makes a comedic exit to strike out on his own, and shortly after you hear his screams in the distance, startling everyone, they decide to collectively tread forward together. They find themselves Macmillan Estate, separated in a fog that leads to pitch black, the realm of the Trapper. He quickly hunts them down, one by one. They're hiding, witnessing each other getting taken down. The Trapper gets increasingly fast as he hooks them one after the other, first catching Meg in a bear trap after demolishing a pallet she threw down in the fence. The others run scattered, everyone out for themselves. Claudette, Jake, Dwight, all cut down, hooked one after another. They wake up back at the campfire, panic, and collectively share a nightmare together, they wonder. But why about each other? And why about this campfire? They agree to leave together again, but have each other's backs. Stay close. I really think that these people should be accurately casted. These characters, whoever you cast in the movie, should look like the damn characters. Let's not do some thing that causes people a knee-jerk reaction or brain aneurysm. Just cast people that look like the damn characters. Make them dress like the characters. Anyways, back to the point. Into the fall they go, back into the pitch black that kind of represents the loading screen up, together at the asylum, now at the realm of the nurse. And I know this wasn't originally in the game. This was like the first DLC. But they're in the realm of the nurse, caught off guard by the nurse. Meg is immediately worried. Dwight can't save her, but tries as Jake takes cover behind some cawing crows, but calms them. And Claudette flees, hiding in a locker, heavy of breath, to the screams of Dwight as she sees him get brutally tossed on a hook. The nurse leaves after an intense moment of lingering, possibly knowing she's in the locker. Claudette cries until Dwight grunts, still alive, trying to pull himself off the hook. Claudette exits the locker, trying to pull him off. Jake comes in to help, now carrying a toolbox that he found. After the shock that Dwight is still alive and able to stand once they got him off the hook, Claudette notices a box, rummages through it, a first aid kit. She attempts to bandage him up, commenting about her skills with herbs. She noticed some at the campfire that would have been useful had she known what kind of situation they were in. Jake dismantles the hook with the toolbox he found as they hear the wails of the nurse closing in. He tells them to run as they flee. His screams can be heard. Dwight and Claudette run toward the sound of a machinery, lights clicking on, seeing the nurse blink closer and closer toward them, teleporting as they pass generator after generator that have been lit up or are clicking on as they're moving forward. The nurse has disappeared. They pause, wondering where she went, until she swoops in and grabs Claudette up right next to Dwight and carries her off, screaming. Dwight runs, hunched, bleeding, grunting, heavy of breath, coming across another generator and a girl working on it, Nia. She finishes it, clicking on the light. The exit gate near can be seen opening. Nia runs out as Dwight yells, "Wait, help, Nia is gone," and the nurse appears, stabbing Dwight. She carries him off to a creepy basement. Odd sounds. The entity hooks him dead in the basement. To have all these environments, all these characters, all these things coming into play, their perks being utilized within the script, it's the best way to do it. So they all wake up at the campfire again, terrified, confused, defeated. They take time to share their personal stories. Claudette picks up and mixes some plants, healing herbs, and illuminating blood. A line shines in the dark like the blood web. A representation of the blood web appears, and they can interact with it. Each receives an item, a toolbox, an offering, a keychain, and a map. Together, Dwight shares information about the girl, the generator, the exit gate, how it might be their way out. And if they stick to their strengths working as a team, maybe they can get out together. This time ending up at the Cold Wind Farm, realm of the hillbilly. And they're in different clothes this time to add a little comedic thing and an extra level of confusion, but also pay respect and tribute to the game. So using the map, they find their first generator and start working on it with funny commentary, a little unsure of what the hell they're doing, or what the purpose and point is. Claudette pops the generator. The revving of a chainsaw can be heard coming. Meg takes the initiative, making the hillbilly chase her, using her athletic skills to their advantage. Dwight, Claudette, and Jake repair the first generator. The maps says there's another. They rush to it. Meg continues to narrowly evade the hillbilly using pallets, vaulting over obstacles, making him look like an ass. The other three repair another generator and follow the map, cutting back and forth between Meg's chase and their repairs. They knock out another generator, but the hillbilly stops in his pursuit of Meg, racing off toward the last repaired generator. Because that's how people act in the game. They're like, oh shit, I better just stop messing with this person that's handing my ass to me and go find these other guys, or I'm going to lose the whole damn match. They break from their task, hearing the hillbilly. As they scatter against Dwight's wishes, Jake is injured by the hillbilly while vaulting out of harm's way. He finds a place to hide, trying to hard to calm himself and be quiet while he's in intense pain. The hillbilly lurks, distracted by Meg again. He pursues her, and then you have Claudette reuniting with Jake, trying to help him using her plant-based paste to ease his pain. Dwight sneaks, finds a chest with nothing but a curious key. Meg continues to humiliate the hillbilly in a hilarious running in circles, vaulting through the same window chase like you could do in the game, until a mysterious force, the entity, blocks the window and she's mowed down like, oh shit. To pay tribute to the game as one of the best things you can actually do during adaptation, you've got to include those things that people talk about, like something I'm going to point out next. So Dwight, Jake, and Claudette unite just in time to hear the screams of Meg. They argue about saving her. Jake argues they should be repairing the generators, and Claudette notices the key in Dwight's hand. Jake takes it, curious about it. Dwight convinces them to go save Meg as a team. Meg is hooked. The killer face camps her. The others take a sneak peek, realizing she's being face camped, and they start arguing about what to do. Jake notices a hatch with a keyhole. While they're arguing, Jake investigates. They follow him, but like frantically. They need to save Meg. What the hell are you doing, Jake? He opens it up thinking it's their escape. Dwight and Claudette argue to save Meg. She saved them. Jake jumps through the mysterious dark hatch like, F you guys. After jumping through the dark hatch, his fate is unknown. Jake's fate is unknown. Claudette and Dwight attempt to save Meg, but she's being face capped, so everybody ends up getting down, hooked, drug into the basement. They wake up at the campfire again, but this time, just Dwight, Meg, and Claudette. Jake is gone. Dwight tells Meg what happened. She's grateful they didn't leave her behind, but she also wonders if they passed up their only opportunity to ever escape. Sort of inspired by their sacrifice, she doesn't feel alone in this, and she's ready to handle this together as a team once again. Don't give up. They turn to the mysterious blood web for helpful gifts, simply giving keychains, wonder what the hell that means. They prep themselves for entering the realm again. They enter the realm of the Hag, and in there they team up with Ace, counter hex totems, and this time actually successfully repair all the generators in a very intense level. You know how the Hag is. You step on these little things that she scribbled on the ground, then you're spawning her right in your face. They narrowly escape, finally, out of the exit gate with their lives, taking a momentary pause before they exit, like, we finally did it. But that's the hopeful ending. Waking up at the campfire again, realizing there is no escape. Going over the journal, they realize most people lose themselves here to the entity, becoming emotionless shells of their former selves until they too become killers in service of the entity. Realizing the personalized keychains are reminders of who they are, should they ever forget, as the entity feeds off them. David King, Feng Min, Jake, and even Nia arrive at the campfire, making them realize they're not completely alone, and they won't forget themselves as long as they share their stories with each other, and coming to the conclusion that they can beat this together. But keep it going and bring in the new characters, more characters, some of people's fan favorites, to set them up for a sequel or a TV series, and to elaborate a little bit more on what's going on here. Because maybe in the second movie, you could actually have one of them lose themselves to the point that they become a killer being used by the entity. Just some thoughts, but I think this would be a great way to handle the first outing for a Dead by Daylight live action thing. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. How would you handle it? Of course, none of these original characters are my favorites. My favorites aren't Dwight, Jake, Meg, and Claudette. My favorites are other characters that came later, but I think it's really important to just stick with the original characters that first came out with it, from the killers to the survivors, and to really pay attention to those perks and how you can use them in a script to pay off on them, to pay off on those character traits. Now you can put the blood web and everything into play. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. Like, subscribe, stay awesome, rock on.